Hello, my Canadian friend. You have so difficult nickname, so I cannot pronounce it. Cthulhuing. Yes, the camera is upside down somehow, but yeah, I think it's okay. So the camera is in the middle of the table, and I am putting my hand from the edge of the table. So I think it's okay. Should be okay. At least I'm looking on right now on the YouTube, so it looks how it should look like. So I hope it's okay. So okay, uh, let me try to flip it. I know what you mean right now. Mm-hmm. How to do this? Yeah. Now it's okay. Thanks Cthulhu Inc. for the super chat. A lot of thanks to you, and I hope you will also enjoy this video later on. Okay, let's wait maybe for one for the next person, and we will start. Yeah, so we have right now, I think, 6 persons. Curious Pete, howdy. 6 persons plus me, which is 7. But people come and go. So welcome to my second live stream, which will be the Tushonka Show today. So good afternoon for America, good evening for Europe. And if anybody is in Asia, it's in the middle of the night. So I don't believe it. Późny dobry wieczór wszystkim oglądającym z Polski. Dzisiaj będzie po angielsku, ale jest to o tyle ciekawe dla Was, że te wszystkie rzeczy są kupione w Polsce, więc będziecie mogli sobie być może ich też sami spróbować. Und guten Abend für alle deutschsprachige Zuschauer. Und heute im Studio Thorsten Schröder. Ich hoffe, dass es wird auch für euch ganz interessant. Aber es wird in Englisch. Sunshine's side of life. Good, whatever, evening. Okay, let's start. So I will not eat it and everything at once and even not open it. So don't be afraid, it will not last 8 hours. But today's topic is Tushonka Show. Actually, I had two proposals which were, let's say, gained the same applause from you. This is the one, and the second is I will bring it right now. The second is the new, I don't know if you can see this yet, the new Slovak Army 24-hour ration, which is basically the same, which is Swedish ration. So this is this oatmeal's actually 24-hour set. Quite interesting, but let's save it for the next live stream. Yeah, so let's go with our cans. I will tell you about the Tushonka, what it is a bit later. I have also one something for dessert, which I will show you later, and I have one can from Agbol. What we have here is a set of different types of Tushonka, and they are made out of different animals, let's say. All of them I bought in Poland. I mean, these two jars, these are homemade by me. This is beef and this is pork Tushonka. What about these cans? All of them I bought in a shop which is called Ukraineczka, which just means Ukrainian lady. And this is a shop in Poland, actually a small chain of shops, quite new, I guess. They appeared last year in my city, just this February, and they have a lot of food items, mostly food items from, let's say, Eastern Europe or even Georgia or Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lithuania. Yeah, about this we will talk a bit later. Okay, so all of this I have bought in this shop, and this is, as I told you, from Agbol. Now we have to choose something to try from this. So my proposal is to get these two mine. Let's get this is lamb, this is beef, this is pork, beef, and this is also beef with big chunks. This huge can. So I think we will take this beef, this pork, lamb, beef, pork, and I will put this aside. Anyway, I will eat Tushonka next, I don't know, next week. Yeah. Yeah, you can associate Tushonka mostly with the Russian rations, but not only, because also Kazakhstan, I guess, they have Belarus, Ukraine, and so on. And what is about this? Actually, this shop is led by an Ukrainian family here, as I suppose, but most of their supply it doesn't come directly from Ukraine or wherever, but they are connected with a big, let's say, delivery, something like gross delivery in Germany. The company is called Monolith, and I think that this company, Monolith, is a company for serving all the people who wants this Eastern food in Germany, maybe in Austria or whatever, because there are also some immigrants there and so on, and they provide all of this. But these two cans are actually made in France. So it is not from Russia or Ukraine or Belarus. And this can, which is you can see in Russian and in German, this is made actually in Poland. So I had first a bit difficult to find where is the, let's say, production country. On this can, it is written somewhere here that is made in France. And on this one and the other ones which I took away, it is not written anything. It is only imported into Germany by the Monolith and so on. But I can tell you, let's say, a secret. At least in the European Union, there is a system of marking the food, especially meat, about the origin. So we have a small ellipse here, and you can read here that it is FR, which is France. And on this can, you can read, I hope, PL, which is Poland. This is a Polish one. And the other cans are from have LV, which is Latvia. So that's how you can distinguish the origin. Okay, I will open them. I will try them cold. I will try them also hot. Also my 2 jars, and here we have something from Akpol, which is karczak wieprzowy w galarecie, which means pork neck in jelly. And this is something more or less corresponding to these cans, I think. Okay, let me make something to drink because I will need it, and I will need also something, wet to be able to speak to you that long, just for my throat. I can see this question, what we eat with Tushonka, so I will answer this in a moment. So we have some military items here, or let's say this kind of tea. This is Maisky chai. You can recognize from the Russian rations, and maybe also they were in some other like Ukrainian, because you could buy also this in Ukraine. This tea I bought in the same shop, Ukrainian shop, as this Tushonka. But you can guess that in their right now situation, this is not a very comfortable, let's say, situation. But you have the Russian tea in a Ukrainian shop, and I had doubts should I buy it or not. But they put a note there that they have some items from Russia, like for example this tea, and all the margin, all the gain from selling of these Russian items will go to the support of the Ukrainian army. So I bought it, and I have something also international from Germany. This is Apfelschorle. And this is kind of drink which is not popular in Poland, but it is popular in, let's say, German-speaking countries like Austria, Germany. This is a mix of sparkling water and the apple juice. It's something like half and half. It's not to be, let's say, to be bored by this meat. I also brought some pickles. These are pickled mushrooms, which I made myself, and pickled onion, also homemade. And this is green tomatoes bought in a shop. If anybody wants to be moderator, so please let me know. I think I will go and take some slices of bread. Yes, so we are almost ready. Okay, secure your speed. Yeah, so let's start with the what we have inside actually. What is Tushonka? Well, Tushonka is a dish, as a name, comes from the Russian verb tushit, which means to slowly boil, to simmer, to make a stew or something like this. I don't know if it's the one word in English about it. In Polish, it is called dusić, so quite similar. But there is no noun like from you have tuszyć and you have tuszonka, and in Polish you have dusić, but you don't have duszonka. And dusić has also some other meanings like to choke, and you can kill somebody with dusić by his neck, but it's just for fun. So it is something slowly cooked and slowly simmered and so on. But this is not like a stew, because stew, like you have, for example, Irish stew. So often in the stew you have meat, and you have different things like some potatoes or other vegetables. This is kind of dish, and in tuszonka you don't have such. Or you have just a little of such additional ingredients. So basically it is meat based. And we will have a look what's inside. But for example, in this canned beef meat, it's in English, you have beef, water, onions, salt, spices, and preservative, which is sodium nitrate. And this is the basic, actually, the basic set of ingredients for tuszonka. In my tuszonka, you have also just meat, pork fat, onion, bay leaf, salt and pepper and water, and that's it. Here what we have, Schweinefleisch, Schweinfett, Schweingelatine. So this is basically the same, but you have some gelatin added. Yeah, so that's the content of this. How to make it? How to make it? I have one very good and very simple recipe for this, which comes from 1941, when the Soviet army ran out of the, let's say, producing capabilities, and they ordered to make tuszonka in the US. That's the story from one military blog, and I had the recipe from there, and it is really simple. I mean, you put everything in one pot. I use slow cooker, then you close it for 4 hours, and you have delicious tuszonka. You asked how we eat it. To tell you the truth, the tuszonka, as a tuszonka, is not very common in here in Poland, so we don't eat it that much. But this is kind of rather kind of addition to your sandwich or bread, so eaten cold. Of course, you can. I think you can get such can or jar, and you can warm it up. It will fall apart a bit, and then, for example, make it with some pasta or rice or kasha as a something like lunch dish. I think it's time to open something. Yeah, maybe let's start with this. So this is tuszonka made in Poland. Here is also Poland. Quite fresh, 400 grams. I have never tried it. I put these cans for, let's say, 2 hours to the refrigerator. A lot of jelly, and so maybe after 8 hours it will be stiff, and it's quite fatty. What is the smell? It smells, if you had Polish rations and you had the gulasz angielski or kind of luncheon meats cans, the smell is exactly the same. Oh, it's pretty fatty. Okay, let's try it. Oh gosh. Guys, this is a standard Polish meat can. Has a bit slightly metallic taste, not very pleasant, but it is very soft. That's okay. Very soft. But the taste, the taste is, I wouldn't call it really different than from, let's say, luncheon meat or this kind of stuff. So yeah, it is stewed meat, so that is tuszone mięsa, but the taste, it's not different, and it should be different. Hi, spicy tuna rolls. Hi, Emily. Hi, Emily. Yeah, so, no, more or less, you can eat it. It's really fatty. First time I tried Tushonka, it was in the 80s when I was studying, and a friend of mine, so let's say a roommate, his father worked in the military. He was an officer, and he brought us a couple of times this kind of cans with the Tushonka, with the military Tushonka, and it really, the taste was so amazing, so very different from standard cans, which we knew, and I couldn't, let's say, replicate this taste. I tried many recipes, and this one is this taste. Okay, let's go further. Maybe this lamb. I have to tell you that this was the most expensive can. So it was, I guess, 15 zloty, and this was something like 8. So almost double, almost twice as much. 15 zloty is something like under $4 right now, US dollars. Let's try French Tushonka. You can see it's looks similar, but this is more soupy. This is not gelatin. and it is significantly leaner, so not that as fatty as this Polish one. Yup. Let's try. Smells like canned meat. Well, the flavor is interesting. So if you know how lamb actually, I would say sheep meat, not very young lamb, but sheep meat tastes like, it has this some special flavor. I cannot describe you. So this is the flavor, and another, let's say, feature is that it is really salty. So comparing to this, I don't know, twice as much salt. Not bad, but I think better on the bread, or bread, I don't know, maybe even with butter. It's better with bread because, you know, this saltiness is somehow neutralized by the bread. I expected this to be worse, actually. It's not that bad. Now we have this beef. Rindfleisch im Aufguss. Tuszonka kawiarza. Ta-da! Oh, that's the difference. Look, we have gelatin here, so it was not in this lamb. Yeah, and it is also not that fatty. I have to tell you that until now, this is the best one. It has a beefy flavor, but not overall beefy, very strong beefy. It is not as salty as this lamb. Quite decent. Quite decent. You know, probably this will be my lunch tomorrow. So probably one of these cans together with some pasta and so on. Yeah, so now let's move to my homemade tushonkas. Yeah, this is the pork. Actually, I made it 2 months ago, I guess. Or 2.5. It was standing in the fridge, but it was not somehow specially processed to be a long life. long shelf life. If you want to secure this, I think I gave it here this salt with this sodium nitrite, but you have to. I don't know how it's called in English. In Polish, it's called tyndalizacja. So this is something like pasteurization, but you make it 3 times in 3 consecutive days, and then you can keep it outside the fridge. Of course, not as long as this military rations, years and years, but I guess 2-3 months is okay. And you can see the difference. These are chunks of pork neck. They are big, something like 2 by 2 centimeters or 1 inch by 1 inch. And you have smaller chunks of pork fat. And the ratio is that you have 1 to 4. So 1 kilogram of meat and 250 grams of this fat. And then it is so soft, so long stewed that this is almost spreadable. Look, I will put it on a bread maybe. I wonder if it's still good. I think so. It's just surface that is a bit oxidized. And the smell is doesn't smell like this pork, standard regular pork can, but the smell is a meat and a bay leaf. So really, really nice smell. This is not as salty as these ones, but it is salty enough. And funny thing is that you put into this pot meat, pork fat, onion, diced onion, bay leaf, salt and pepper, and 1 tablespoon of water for 1 kilogram of meat, which is very little. So you don't have water here which evaporates or something. The water is in meat, and then it melts, and everything is really, really soft. So the taste of it is definitely different. So I mean that you have this onion and the bay leaf, which is the base of the taste, of course, together with this pork neck. The recipe I had was actually for the pork, but a month ago I thought, hey, let's try to make this the same with beef. Why not? And I did it. You can see that it looks different. So I made some mistake because I bought a really lean beef. I couldn't get any other piece with more fat, so I also bought 250 grams of pork fat, which is visible here, these cubes. And it's not that good as this pork one, because the fat should be also in the meat, and it's make better. You can see also these are the cubes of this pork fat, spreadable. This is the beef. I don't know which part it was lean. and it is not as soft as pork, also because less fat in the meat, and it is beef, which is usually not as soft as pork. Yeah. Oh, the smell? It smells a bit like beef, and this bay leaf is not so, not as, let's say, visible as in the pork version. Let's try. Comparing to this canned Tushonka, beef Tushonka, you can see the difference. I have here big chunks of meat, and here it is more, let's say, processed, some kind of, I don't know, blend or whatever, and this the taste of beef is also not overpowering everything. But it is the beef is stronger here than here, and here is this. I don't know how to call it, but this jelly. This is something what actually in Polish cans just the same note of almost all canned luncheon meats and this kind of stuff. I don't know how you call it, and I don't have here. You asked about the bread. This bread is not rye. I baked it on Thursday. This is wheat bread, but the flour here is not a plain flour as you can use for baking cakes or so on. This is bread flour, and that's why it is darker a bit. And this is also ecological flour. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that's a wheat bread. Let me have a sip of tea. Yeah, midnight Tushonka. What else can be better? And by the way, guys, about this bread, I don't bake normally bread at home because maybe I'm a bit lazy, but also when I bake a bread, then it's too big for me and so on. But this is something, some remaining of the pandemic. When the pandemic started, it was how long ago? 2 years ago. So what people did here, it was a panic in shops, and they started to buy things like first toilet paper, of course, immediately sucked out of the shops. Then it was flour, yeast, and things like pasta, kasha, and this kind of stuff. And I also was very lucky to buy a packet of yeast. and put it into the fridge, so the deep freeze. And after 2 years, I think something like a week ago, I took it out of the freezer. I haven't ever used freezed yeast before. These are not dry yeast, these are fresh yeast. And they did something like explosion of this of this cube. And I thought, hey, maybe let's make a bread. And I got a very simplified recipe for making a bread. You just mix everything in a bowl with a big spoon, yeast, water, salt, flour. Then you leave it for 1 hour. Then you just mix it once more, and then you take a pot, which must be metal or I don't know, ceramic, and you put it in the baking oven. The pot is hot, the dough comes inside, and you bake this bread in a pot. So it is very easy. This bread is not so sophisticated and not so delicious. How a long made bread, which is processed for 1 night, or let's say kneaded 3 times or something, but it's quite decent. Hi, hamburger. Greetings to Istanbul. Okay, guys, before we jump into this alcohol item and the dessert, I'd like to warm up some of these cans, because how does this taste warm? I know, because just right after preparing this, it is warm and it is quite tasty. But yeah, let's have some of these cans. I will put it in a microwave. Mm, okay, I will warm it up. Yeah, so we have warm Tushonka. So this beef and lamb, you can see that there was a fat there and some jelly and so on. So they have they look now like minced meat, and this pork, which was really fatty, it has almost disappeared. So it doesn't say good about the ingredients. Let's start with this. That's the beef one. Yeah, and it is quite good. I guess from these cans, this is the best one. And it could be, eaten together with some kasha or something. This is lamb. I am afraid about the salt here, but let's try. What should I say? It's salty, but it has lost a bit of this sheep taste. So it's not that intense. But anyway, yeah, it tastes better, I think, warm than cold, but however, it is too salty for me. Yeah, let's eat an onion. Hi, James. Hi, Smithy. Okay, now this something, just have a look on this. What it is made of? I think there is some pork skin here. As I can remember let's say the label, we have also pork skin, which is something like gelatinous. I don't know which version is better. I mean, cold or hot. The taste is better. So it has lost this specific canned meat, Polish canned meat aftertaste, and this metallic thing. This is really, really soft. But I have to tell you that the smell right now is not very pleasant. Well, maybe I will not tell you what it's my association with the smell, because it is really not something not edible. Yeah, so I don't know which version is better. Probably no one of this version is better. And about these jars, so also the one difference between these jars and the cans is if you make it warm, you warm it up, or you eat it warm just after preparing this. So you can expect, of course, that if you have such cube of meat, it would not dissolve like this because it is meat, and it will not, shrink like this because this is minced and this is just real muscles. Yeah. Very interesting experience for me because you know all these cans, Polish cans, Tyrolska, Gulasz angielski or whatever you have in these rations, we don't warm it up here, and I have never thought about it because I thought it would be disgusting. Maybe not. Maybe I should try also. People learn whole life. Let's take a pickle. Yep. I will take it. Yeah, it's crap. Okay. So we have two cans to go. First, this apple. So pork neck in jelly. And what do we have here? We have 77% of pork neck, which is not bad. We have sodium glutamate, we have salt, glucose, some thickening agent, collagen, and some stabilizers and so on. So this is something like industrial product. But I have chosen this can because it corresponds more or less to Tushonka. I mean, you have actually meat here, nothing else. The apple has a can which is called military Tushonka wojskowa. I read the ingredient list there. I haven't tried, and it is disaster, completely disaster, because they have something like 50% of pork, and then they have something like poultry meat, this mechanical separated poultry meat, and then some pork skin. It's just rubbish there. So it's called Tushonka, but it shouldn't be called Tushonka. Yeah. And yeah, by the way, about the apple and the cans, I bought, I guess in January, I bought quite a big box from them of different things. These cans which I had on the previous live stream, the big cans with other items, some civilian ration which I had and also sent to some guys in the US, and the bread and so on. And when the war started, the day after, they just shut down their shop. As a civilian, you couldn't buy anything. But right now, today I checked, all the type of ration disappeared from them. They had only ration for tourists, civilian, not the military ones. So every ration is out of the shop, but you can buy this kind of cans still. And the prices went up. They have something like what is more, let's say, similar to Tushonka, and it's called other way. Yeah, definitely we have more meat here than in this Tushonka. So not big chunks of fat. And it is not as soft as Tushonka. Oh, it looks better. Looks better. So have a look. Okay, I'll try it. Smells not bad. I have to tell that this is really decent. This is the best of these 4 cans. This tastes not like this luncheon meats. This tastes more like meat. It is salty, but you can eat it. Maybe too salty for me, but it's okay. So quite decent. Okay, so let's do the following. Let's warm it up. I have never tried, but let's do this. By the way, as we are talking about canned meat, luncheon meat, and this kind of stuff, you often, guys, when you try this from international rations, you compare this to Spam. So the genuine product, which is called Spam, I know that now it is in I don't know, tens, I know, maybe 100 different varieties. But I have never tried it in my life because it was not available here, not sold. I think there is one shop in Warsaw, which is a kind of shop for British expat or something like this, and they sell Spam. Made in Denmark, by the way, but it is the Spam brand. And maybe when I will be in Warsaw and I have enough time, maybe I will go there and buy, because I don't expect some miracles, but I want to compare the flavors. Yeah, you can have a look. It is really something different than these Tushonka cans. So you don't have as much fat, so you don't have fatty soup here. Actually, a bit of juice which has been dried, and just pieces of meat falling apart. Let's try. Smells like meat. It is really soft. Yeah, it does taste like a stewed meat, but it's pretty salty right now after this operation. But the taste is okay. Yeah. It is a bit dry right now, so I think maybe in some sauce or something it could be better. It has dried. Okay, so we are finished. We have finished with the savory things. I will make some space here. Okay, guys, now it's time for dessert, which will be weird. Of course, it will be weird for me as an European, maybe for you in America as well. But if you are coming from Asia, this will be not that weird, because a lot of desserts in Asia contain beans. And this is a can which I got from my friend from Taiwan. Ooh, I think something like 3 years ago, maybe. So I wonder if it's still good. I cannot find the best before date or something here. And he put here a card that this is sweet peanut soup. And this military package. So this is probably, maybe they use also this in the military. Oh yes, here we have. What? It looks like it's July 2025. So this should be perfectly good. Okay, spicy. We'll try if I will vomit. Okay. Ooh. It looks like fat. Smells like raw peanuts. Shit, it doesn't look good. Appetizing at all. Okay. I had this kind of stuff in Malaysian or Indonesian ration. It's not disgusting, but if you are not used to this, so it's weird. So it's really very soupy. So I have some, I don't know, maybe these 2 spoons of peanuts, but the rest is the soup. So the liquid. Okay. Yeah, guys, cross the fingers for me. I will be brave. I'm alive. So you can guess. Yeah, something what sometimes what looks quite nice can be not as good, and something what looks disgusting is really decent. These peanuts are really soft, so they are not crunchy. And this is something, I don't know, maybe this is peanut oil or something, this fat. This is like lightly sweet water, and you have this peanut taste. Well, it doesn't look good, so there is no discussion about it, but but the taste is okay. The taste is nice. Unusual, but nice. So I can tell you that maybe I will not eat it right now, but I will not discard this, which I will do probably with this can, because neither hot or cold, it's okay. If you don't have anything to eat, it's perfect, but definitely it's not worth. So basically, it's what I had for you today. I hope it was somehow interesting to you, for you to see this different Tushonkas, to hear a bit about it, what is it, and to see my also homemade. And I hope you like the show. Thank you very much for coming. And this Slovak Russian is sitting in the waiting room for the next live. I don't know exactly when, but of course I will let you know. Thank you very much. Dziękuję bardzo. Vielen Dank. And see you. See you, everybody. Thank you very much once more. Bye.